I invite you to read this chapter with your full attention. This introduction is not just an ordinary preface. It is the foundation of the entire edifice of thought that we will explore together. Without understanding this chapter with your heart, mind, and logic, you may struggle to follow the arguments in the pages that follow. The words will be read, but the hidden meaning behind them may be missed. This is where we will lay the foundation together, the number one, which I believe is the primary source of all order, space, time, and existence. In the arithmetic we know in everyday life, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 5. But in metaphysics, in the meta-mathematics that underpins reality itself, I will invite you to consider this possibility: 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. How can this be? How does 5 return to 1? How does diversity return to unity? I know this sounds impossible, even irrational. And I'm not asking you to believe it right away. All I ask is your willingness to follow this line of thinking through to the end, with an open mind yet remaining critical. The answer will unfold gradually, starting from this chapter. And if you skip this foundation, the arguments that follow may feel like a puzzle without a key. Important note: this introduction consists of 30 pages and will be presented in parts. So, I invite you to follow each video carefully. This is not merely a reading, this is an invitation to explore a dimension of thought that may be new to you. An intellectual and spiritual quest that can be valuable to anyone, from any religious background or belief system. I'm not forcing you to accept or reject anything. This book is simply an expression of my soul's journey in the most ancient and most personal quest: who am I? Who am I among the trillions of stars and this infinite universe? And in that search, I found answers through the language of mathematics, a universal language that transcends the boundaries of religion, culture, and belief. I'm not inviting you to talk about God first. I want to invite you to delve deeply and rationally into the mystery of the number one. From chapter 1 to chapter 10, we will talk about pure mathematics, not theology, not dogma. Whoever you are, whatever your religion, from whatever sect, I will not enter the realm of your personal faith or beliefs. What I'm inviting is rational thinking, as clear as your answer that 1 plus 1 equals 2. If my arguments are wrong, you will know it with your own reasoning. If my arguments make sense, you will also see it with your own mind's eye. Listen, with your intellectual ears. Understand, with clear reasoning. Feel, with an open heart, yet remain critical. Now, let us begin. Introduction, Part 1. 1. Mathematics, consciousness, and the origin of all things when numbers speak of the absolute. Have you ever truly contemplated the number one? Not merely seeing it as a symbol on a blackboard or a digit on a calculator. Not just using it to count money or measure distance. But contemplating it, gazing at it deeply, like staring into a mirror that reflects the most fundamental mystery of existence. The number one appears simple. Too simple. A vertical line. Standing alone. Needing nothing. Yet from this deceptively simple appearance, a truth is hidden that has made philosophers wrestle for thousands of years and modern scientists fall silent in awe. Without the number one, there would never be 2, 3, 4, and so on. Number 10, number 100, no million, no infinity. All numbers, every number you have ever thought of, every calculation ever made by humanity, is born from one. Depends on it. Cannot exist without it. The number 1 is the cosmic seed of the entire number system, the foundation that, if removed, would collapse the entire edifice of mathematics in an instant. Then a tempting question arises, whispering itself into our minds with a voice that cannot be ignored. Doesn't this remind us of something greater? If every number needs the number 1 to exist, if no number can stand on its own without a foundation in this primordial unity, could it be that everything that exists in this universe also needs one source to exist? A source that is undivided, dependent on nothing, infinite in its essence, and the origin of everything. Think about this. Every atom in your body, every star in the night sky, every galaxy spinning in cosmic darkness, all of these exist not because of themselves. Atoms did not create themselves. Stars did not ignite themselves from nothingness. Galaxies do not spin themselves without governing laws. Everything that exists depends on something else to exist. But if everything depends on something else, then we would be trapped in an endless chain, an infinite regress that never arrives at a solid foundation. Like the stack of turtles supporting the world in ancient mythology, if every turtle stands on another turtle infinitely, what actually supports everything? Logic forces us to one inevitable conclusion. There must be one source that depends on nothing, something whose existence is necessary, not contingent. Something that exists because of its own essence, not because of an external cause. Something from which everything else originates, but which itself does not originate from anything. In mathematical language, there must be an original, 1. The number 1 is not derived from other numbers. It is not created by 2 divided by 2, or 3 minus 2, because to perform that operation, you must already assume the number 1 exists. The number 1 precedes all mathematical operations. It is a given, a fundamental postulate whose existence requires no justification from anything else, because without it, nothing else can be proven. And this is not merely symbolic play. This is a mirror of the ontological structure of reality itself. And if it is true that there is one source, wouldn't it necessarily speak through the patterns we see in nature? Imagine an artist pouring their soul into a painting. Every brushstroke, every color choice, every compositional form, all are the language through which the artist communicates. You may not know the artist personally, but by studying their work carefully, you can understand something about them, whether they prefer order or chaos, whether they are melancholic or cheerful, whether they care about details or prefer general impressions. Likewise, if the universe is the work of one source, then the structure of the universe is the language through which that source speaks to us. And that language, as we will prove in the coming chapters, is mathematics. Not mathematics in the narrow sense as a tool for calculating groceries or solving exam problems, but mathematics as the fundamental structure of reality, patterns written into the fabric of existence itself, governing how particles interact, how stars form, how life evolves, how consciousness emerges. These patterns are not random. They do not change according to our preferences. They do not negotiate with human desires. They are absolute, universal, and eternal. Newton's law of gravitation works the same on Earth as in the Andromeda galaxy. The speed of light constant, 299,792,458 meters per second, has not changed from the Big Bang to today. The ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, pi, remains 3.14159. In every civilization, on every planet, in every era. This order is not coincidence. Coincidence is not consistent. Coincidence is not universal. Coincidence does not persist for 13.8 billion years without a single violation. Perfect order demands an orderer. And if we are humble enough to listen, to truly pay attention to what the universe is telling us through its patterns, we will discover something astonishing. The universe speaks of the One. Not in human language. Not in words or metaphors. But in the language of numbers, patterns, and formulas, a language older than all human civilization, a language that requires no translation because it is directly written into the structure of reality itself. This is what we will explore in this book. We will see how patterns in nature reveal astonishing order, from galactic orbits to DNA structure, from snowflakes to human heartbeats. We will ask, why is nature so orderly? And the answer we will find does not come from religious assumptions or philosophical dogma, but from mathematical and scientific evidence that cannot be refuted. We will delve into the mystery of the number 1, why it is the foundation of the entire number system, why it is unique in mathematical operations, and what its philosophical implications are about the source of all that exists. We will see how mathematics creates space and time, how infinity points to the transcendent, and how the fine-tuned constants of the universe with impossible precision hint at intentional design. But most importantly, we will do all of this with complete intellectual honesty. No forcing of conclusions. No manipulation of data. No unjustified logical leaps. We will let the evidence speak, and then we will listen. If ultimately the evidence leads us to the conclusion that there is one absolute source, a unity that supports diversity, an order that precedes chaos, a consciousness that births all consciousness, then we will accept it not because of blind faith, but because logic compels us there. And if so, then the next question is inevitable: who or what is this one? And how can we, small creatures on a small planet in a small galaxy, recognize it? The answers to these questions await you. But first, let us begin from the most honest place, from simple observations about the nature surrounding us. Because if the source truly speaks through the patterns of nature, then its traces must be visible everywhere, from the largest to the smallest, from the farthest to the closest. And indeed they are. Let us witness. Nature whispers through patterns. From the beginning, humanity has been captivated by nature. Water forms regular ripples, stars twinkle following predictable paths, heartbeats maintain life rhythmically. All of this whispers that nature is not chaos, but hidden harmony. When we direct our gaze to the night sky, we witness an astonishing cosmic orchestra. Our solar system, with 8 planets orbiting the Sun, moves in mathematical ellipses calculated with precision down to seconds. Earth circles the Sun at a speed of 107,000 kilometers per hour, yet we do not feel it, a perfect balance between gravitational force and momentum. Astronomers have discovered that the Milky Way galaxy, home to 200–400 billion stars, rotates with stunning regularity. Stars at the galaxy's edge take approximately 225 to 250 million years to complete one full rotation. Even more astonishing, thousands of other galaxies in this universe stretching 93 billion light-years, each rotating following spiral, elliptical, or certain geometric patterns. Physicists like Carl Sagan once said that the cosmos is a symphony played in mathematical tones. But this order is not only visible in the vast expanse of the heavens. When we dive into the microscopic world, we find patterns equally amazing. Every material object is composed of atoms, the smallest units of matter consisting of protons, neutrons, and electrons spinning in specific orbits, similar to a solar system on a nanoscale. Quantum physicist Niels Bohr developed an atomic model showing electrons orbiting the atomic nucleus at quantized energy levels, not random, but following strict mathematical rules. In every cubic centimeter of air we breathe, there are approximately 10 to the power of 19 molecules moving, colliding, and interacting following the laws of thermodynamics with absolute precision. This pattern becomes even more stunning when we talk about life itself. DNA, the blueprint of life, is a double helix structure composed of 4 nitrogen bases, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, that pair with definite complementary rules. Always pairs with T, G always with C. Although every living creature, from bacteria to humans, has a unique DNA sequence, they all follow the same universal pattern, the triplet genetic code, where 3 nitrogen bases form one codon to produce a specific amino acid. Francis Crick and James Watson, discoverers of DNA structure, were amazed to find that genetic information is stored in a chemical language that is mathematical and systematic. Even human fingerprints, unique among 8 billion people on Earth, still follow basic patterns, arches, loops, and whorls, categories that can be analyzed geometrically and statistically for forensic identification. Water, a substance that appears simple yet mysterious, displays its own marvel. Hydrogen oxide molecules form a bond angle of 104.5 degrees. This precise number creates unique properties. Water expands when it freezes, unlike most substances, has high surface tension, and becomes a universal solvent. When water freezes into ice crystals, it forms a perfect hexagonal structure, the same pattern we see in snowflakes, where no 2 flakes are identical, yet all have 6-fold symmetry. Masanobu Fukuoka, in his research on water crystals, found that water's molecular structure reacts to its environment with patterns that can be predicted mathematically. Earth's hydrological cycle, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, operates in balance that has been ongoing for billions of years, following equations of thermodynamics and fluid dynamics. Life systems on Earth are complex networks interconnected through mathematical formulas. Predator and prey populations oscillate following the Lotka-Volterra equations. Bacterial growth follows exponential curves. Tree branching patterns, blood flow in vessels, to the shape of nautilus shells, all follow Fibonacci numbers and the golden ratio, phi equals 1.618. Mathematician Ian Stewart, in his book, Nature's Numbers, states that patterns are our window into the hidden order of the universe. From this wonder, mathematics was born, not merely a counting tool, but a universal language for understanding the beauty behind everything. When Galileo Galilei stated that the universe is a book written in the language of mathematics, he revealed a profound truth. Numbers, patterns, and formulas are not human creations imposed on nature, but the way nature itself speaks about the order that pervades existence. Every equation is a sentence in cosmic conversation. Every constant is a word spoken by nature since the beginning of time. Mathematics is not an abstraction separate from reality. It is the intrinsic structure of reality itself. And this brings us to the question that has haunted thinkers throughout history. If nature speaks in the language of mathematics perfectly, where did this language come from? The number 1, mirror of absolute unity. Before the number 1, we seem to gaze into a cosmic mirror. It is not merely a mathematical symbol, but a symbol of indivisible unity. In this book, we call it mathematical unity, the idea that all numbers, all forms, and all events are rooted in a oneness that encompasses everything. Without the number 1, other numbers lose meaning. 2 is 1 plus 1. 10 stands because of the repetition of units. Even numbers, odd numbers, prime numbers, or complex numbers cannot exist without the foundation of unity. Likewise with life. Without the absolute one, there is no universe, no law of order, not even us. In the end, all numbers return to one, like rivers flowing to the ocean. Differences, diversity, and fragmentation are merely shadows that in time dissolve into eternal unity. Learning mathematics, learning about life. Mathematics is a mirror of the order behind reality. Every number is a window, every pattern is a sign, and every formula is a path toward deeper understanding of self, nature, and the source of existence. Through the number 1, which stands upright, singular, and eternal, we learn about the source of all things. Without it, there is no 2, number 100, not even the concept of infinity. The simplicity of the number 1 teaches humility, small in appearance, inexhaustible in meaning. To be continued in the video with the sub-chapter titled, The Early Traces of Mathematics, From Sand to Stars.